Hi everybody, welcome back. Now joining me is Carleen. Hi Carleen.
Hi Christian.
Now this has been a very exciting week here in head office, but we know that so many of our team across the field and across Australia have not seen what you're going to present now, which is around a refresh brand. And I think we've been building up for a couple of months about how we're yellow, and yellow of course is more than just our traditional products, it's about a solution. So Carleen, talk to us a little bit about what's been happening.
Cool. So I think as you can see from behind me, we've done a bit of a floor refresh. And what we've done is been working for the last sort of 3 or 4 months around how do we bring our brand into the future and also call into our past. So, and I think the heritage piece is really, really important for us. So,
Yep.
And how we kind of like to explain it is if you think about the BMW brand, and you might be able to see it on your screen at the moment, what a lot of people don't know is this logo. So BMW started, way back in the early 1900s, and they were actually an aircraft manufacturing company.
Mm-hmm.
And so the logo is of an aeroplane propeller.
Yes.
And so you can imagine when they got to the end of World War One, and Germany was demilitarized, they were no longer allowed to manufacture aeroplanes. So overnight, their business kind of disappeared from underneath them.
Mm.
And they moved into trains, train brakes specifically, and kept the same logo, and then into cars. And of course, today they're known as a luxury car brand.
Yes.
And that logo is immediately recognisable. And I think the lesson for us out of that is to go, your past doesn't determine your future. But if you take the visual representation of that, then you call into people's memory structures to go, I know that brand because I instantly recognise it.
Yes.
And if you think about that in the context of yellow, and we've spent millions of dollars in advertising yellow over the years, and the Not Happy Jan and the little yellow running man.
The GGO.
Yep. And it was such a shame that we walked away from
Mm-hmm.
that investment, and there were good reasons for it at the time to go to the Census brand for our customers, because it was considered future facing, and we were getting into digital marketing services. But what we've left behind is all that investment and all that emotional attachment that our customers and consumers had with it. So the exciting thing for us is that we are going back to the future. We are going back to the walking fingers, because we specifically want people to recall yellow as being valued in their lives. So brand is more than just a beautiful logo. That's kind of the bit that you use to engage people emotionally. But
Yes.
behind that is the value proposition. And we've always been, the place where Aussies go to find and choose things to solve their problems, and for Aussie businesses to be found and chosen. And I think for me, that's the exciting part of our future, is to go, we're there to go to give scale to our customers. You're a small business. You're competing against Telstra and against Optus and against, Target and
Mm-hmm.
all these big retailers, and we're there to give you a fighting chance. But how do we take that into the future? And that for us is find and match. We have an enormous asset in yellowpages.com.au with nearly 7 million visitors a month. And if you take all of that data, then
Mm-hmm.
you can provide a seamless experience for our consumers to find and choose and be matched with an Aussie business that's going to meet their needs. And for our Aussie businesses to be found and chosen and matched with consumers that they, want to reach.
And a brand needs to sort of bring that to life, right? So
Yes.
people feel that in the same way you described the BMW. Certain things come to mind, certain emotions are sort of created, and that's really what you're trying to reinvigorate.
Correct. So on the find, choose and match. So I think, search is, we're never going to win in that space. We have to be realistic and go, well, we're competing against Google, and we just can't. So the other bit around that is to go, search is not that exciting. Like, no one, sits down at night and goes, ooh, let me search Google and find the thing I want. The bit that people want to do is to choose, what they're after. So we can own the find and choose space. And where, we look into the future is to go, well, it's about matching the needs of someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting into prediction And for me, this is where it gets really exciting, where you start to go, well, you're on, as a consumer, you're on Yellow Pages and you're searching for a plumber. And you're specifically searching for an emergency plumber because we know, from the search terms that you've put in. So we think that you might need a carpet cleaner or a tiler. And so in your search experience, where you're displaying a list of plumbers, for example, you're also displaying a list of the things that you might want next. And you can imagine that from a customer perspective is to go, well, I'm not only going to be found by people, searching specifically for me, but also found by people who may want me next after they've sorted out the thing that they need. I'm going to talk a little bit about brands. So I kind of touched on what you were talking about before. You kind of, when you're talking about brand, you're talking about either differentiation or distinction. Differentiation is what is different about your product compared to your competitors. And in the space we're in, it's very hard to be differentiated. And I think the example we tend to use is Google and Bing. They do exactly the same thing.
Yes. And I guess from a directory sense, for our regional teams, it's like the Yellow Pages versus local search.
Exactly.
They're both printed on yellow paper.
Yep. So do exactly the same thing. And it's pretty hard to create a differentiated experience because the moment you do, your competitor probably is going to do it better.
Yes.
Where you win is when you're distinctive. And again, we come back to the Google and the Bing experience. When someone says Google, you see the logo in your head. And it becomes the emotional choice you make. Bing's not even in your consideration. And that's what we want for Yellow, is to go, well, I want the emotional connection so that when you think about something that you need done, or when you think about advertising your business, you think about Yellow because you've got an emotional connection to it. And the product benefits and features come second behind that. So what we've got is a brand pyramid here. I think the important bit, it's all important, but I think the starting point is the brand purpose. So we're the champion of Aussie SMEs, and I think very particular reason why we chose the word champions. And the heart of that word is back in medieval England when you would choose a champion to go onto the field and fight for you. And that's what we want to be for Aussie SMEs. And I think it comes back to that thing we were talking about before. You've got small businesses, small to medium businesses out there competing against your Telstras and your Target and your Woolworths and your Coles and whatever. We can go into battle for them. We've got the size and scale to do that for them and give them a fighting chance.
Yes.
And I think that's incredibly exciting. The brand personality for us is really important, and we're really excited to work closely with your team over the next 4 or 5 months, because when we talk about a distinctive experience, that's the experience we want to give to our customers. We're equal, we're inclusive, we work with them, we're enthusiastic. The progressive piece is important. And I think there's, particularly for our sales and service piece, we want to democratise marketing. And, I love particularly the digital stuff, but it's so complicated. And, you think about programmatic marketing and, all the data structures that sit underneath it. What we want to be able to do is take that and give a simple solution to our customers, so we're the ones trying it, and then we can go in and say, we know this works.
Yes.
We've tried it, we've made it simple, we've made it easy. You don't need to have a million, data lakes and, DMPs and all the rest of it, but we're here for you. And from a consumer perspective, we want consumers, when they come to Yellow, they're trying to get a job done. And so we want them to, walk away from that experience feeling satisfied and relieved and going, yeah, like I got the thing that I wanted, and I got it from an Aussie business that I can trust. I think the local or the small Aussie business is going to be important for us, as you kind of get this divergence of people, kind of going with the big brands, but also wanting to support, the local industry. So we do have a bit of a video.
And we'll throw that out.
For 138 years, we've been famous for connecting businesses with customers.
G-O, G-G-O.
Not happy, Jen!
That's what's made us the champion of Aussie SMEs. And we're still as relevant today as we were yesterday. Maybe even more so. Our customers' success relies on us delivering seamless ways for consumers to find, choose and connect. So it's time to say yellow again.
Yellow.
To Australia's largest business directory with 1.5 million listings.
Yellow.
To 6.5 million searches every month.
Yellow.
To over 800,000 connections a week.
Yellow.
To an average of 115,000 business connections a day. Australia relies on the survival of small businesses, and Australian small businesses rely on us. So it's time to roll up our sleeves and get working.
Yellow.
To stay the #1 search destination, we're updating our offering to support our yellow proposition. Find, choose, connect. We've simplified our structure by creating a yellow universe. And a revolutionary structure needs an evolutionary identity. And we're better to start than with our walking fingers. Recognisable, powerful, it embraces our heritage and updates our brand for tomorrow. Welcome to Yellow.
Yellow.
To bring the brand to life, we've created a new campaign to remind Australians how relevant we are today by presenting inarguable and surprising facts about what makes Yellow the #1 business directory in Australia. The more Australians learn about us, the more likely they might say hello, or indeed, yellow.
Yellow.
Here's just a peek of how we're launching to market. Using real businesses with real people highlighting real facts. So we're working harder than ever to connect business with customers.
Yellow. Yellow.
Because our success relies on our capacity to help consumers find, choose and connect with our customers better than anyone else. And when we champion our SMEs and their customers, all Australia wins. Australia, it's time to say yellow.
Yellow. Yellow.
Yellow.
Yellow.
So there were a couple of technical issues there, but don't worry, we will find a way to get the video out so that you can see that. Maybe we can find a way to pop that on Yammer or something. But hopefully you're very excited by what you've just seen and have a sense of where we're going. So Carleen, pretty exciting to see Yellow, which is our new brand, removing pages.
Yep.
What do you think it means for us?
So for us, I think it's very future facing. So, and you can see, we've brought the fingers back in a very contemporary way, and we can get all technical about the logo, but there's really important things here. We've gone with a small Y because it's modern and because it's approachable and it's not too formal. And I think often in these, it's not to bag out anything that we've previously done, but one of the things we found with the Census brand is the tone of voice came across as quite condescending. And so what we want with the Yellow, brand is to be warm and to be engaging and for it to not be about us. And so we'll go through a little bit in a moment around, the campaign assets, but it is about our customers and it is about our consumers and it is about us being approachable and warm. And so, all of that is wrapped into this logo. I think my favourite part is actually the lines. So you've got the joint lines in the fingers, which were there in the original. And what we've done is we've extended that across the YEOW because it gives it momentum. It's about pushing that thing forward and going, yep, we've got our history in there, but we've also got our future. It's a bit of geekery for you. So our campaign heroes. Huge thank you to Melinda Osborne and Margaret Bock who, scouted and found these customers for us. And again, as we roll this campaign out nationally, we'll be looking for more customers to feature. And for me, this is hugely exciting, and there's a huge opportunity in here as well, I think, commercially, is we feature our customers, and imagine what this is going to do for their business when we're in market, on TV, on radio, with them front and centre.
And it's really saying for us, like our customers are champions for us as well, right? Yep. So it's this two-way communication and partnership that we're trying to really rise to the surface.
Exactly, and I think, we'll talk a little bit, I think sometimes, it's really easy to kind of skate over the top and go, it's creative, it's just pretty pictures. There's actually a huge amount of science in this, and just quickly walk through this a little bit right now, is to go, well, again, our customers are in colour. They are humans, they are warm, we've got a warm filter over the top of that. We hero the yellow, and that is because our customers own the solution. Like, it's them inviting their customers to use us as a conduit. And again, this is, I love this bit, and I hope to God this works, but imagine in a year's time where people, customers are opening the door and greeting their customers as yellow,
Yes.
right? And, your salespeople are answering the phone with yellow, it's warm and it's inviting, it's a bit funny, and it's...
I said to you the other day that I played a radio sort of an example version to my 10-year-old, and then he was bouncing around the house singing yellow for the rest of the afternoon. So there was something quite catchy about this, right?
Yeah.
And I think our partner who developed a lot of this for us is responsible for things like Down Down, which has been one of the most significant transformational campaigns when it comes to the grocery industry, right?
Absolutely, and I think we're really excited to partner with Big Red. So they're behind Optus, they're behind Jetstar, they're behind Coles, and if you look at how those guys have executed their advertising, and it's exactly what we're going to do here. We anticipate using this style, this logo, these ads for another 3 or 4 years. And for us, it's now given us quite a bit of flexibility to go into different markets and go, well, all we need to do is just, change out customers and change out a few words, and we've got a scalable, TVC and radio.
Yes.
This part is quite important, so we do name our customers. We're not using talent, so we recognise them, and again, that helps drive business for them. We use our distinctive asset, which is our colour, and again, you'll notice it all through the office. And I think again, it aligns to our brand as being warm and optimistic and friendly. So
yes.
we'll use yellow, wherever we possibly can. And you'll see, I think you've seen a couple of previews of the website. It's very heavy on a blocked background.
And repetitive, right? So there's this reinforcement of the brand, but also that reinforcement of customers are our champions.
Yeah. Rational messaging, so our proof points there, and again flexibility around this to go, well, we can talk about people in Northern Rivers, or we can extend that out to New South Wales, or we can go national, however we like to do that. Find, Choose, Connect. I'm just going to talk a little bit about this. In our internal brand proposition, we talk about Find, Choose, Match. On our tagline, we're using Find, Choose, Connect, and we've done that very, very deliberately. 2 reasons. Connect is a much more active word because it is about the action the customer's taking.
Yes.
And, Find, Choose, Match, it's a bit sort of, it's not warm, it's not active. The other bit is, our strategy is to get into matching consumers with customers. Let's not give the game away, right? You put that out of market and, we'll just get crushed by Google. So if they're taking notice. So, it's very deliberate to choose that. We highlight, so we use the word yellow several times. Just a quick call out, we are retaining yellowpages.com.au on our consumer-facing advertising. As you can imagine, we've got a lot of SEO tied up in that. We don't want to just walk away from it. We've got to implement a very careful strategy around migrating that. So there you go, the science behind the ads.
So one of the things that people may have picked up on the screen too is the message is twofold.
Yes. Again, this gives us scale. It makes us really efficient with how we can go to market, so we can reach both customers and consumers. And so you'll see on the left that Yellow has 867 restaurants in the Gold Coast. That's a primarily consumer facing.
Yes.
But you can imagine as an advertiser, there's 867 and I'm not in there. Perhaps I should be part of that. And then if you look on the right hand side where you've got advertise with Yellow, and you could reach 112,000 searches. That is a customer proposition, but from a consumer perspective, you want to call into that tribe behaviour and go, well, everyone else is doing it.
Yes.
I should be doing it too.
And I think for our sales guys, particularly in our regional areas, they're going to see that it sort of changes the way we're approaching the market. Whereas today there were consumer messages that were very yellow, and then there were census advertiser messages which were about the census brand, which became a little tricky for people to understand.
Yeah. Very fragmented, and so bringing it back together, and I think And again, it's you know what you saw when we talked through the kind of science behind the ad. It's you know digital marketing. You want to reinforce the brand at every single point, and you know the above the line. You want to reinforce it at every single point, regardless of who you're talking to. So it builds momentum.
And yellow no longer, and we'll get to this in a second, right? But yellow isn't just a directory.
Correct. So what we have is a yellow universe, and you know the directory is the heart of that. But you know we'll start to rebrand and redo all of our products. So you know you guys will be selling yellow display and yellow web and yellow SEM and you know what other products. For us, it gives us again it builds equity in the brand because you're repeating yellow every single touch point. And so for someone that you sell yellow SEM, you know, their invoice is yellow SEM, when they go to perhaps cancel or change, instead of thinking about cancelling yellow pages, they're thinking about the yellow ecosystem. Yes. And so we think that is, you know, future-proofing us and giving us flexibility with customers rather than us, you know, doing what we're doing today. It also allows us to be very flexible about adding products in, because you just build the yellow story rather than having to explain this and then this other thing over here and then trying to connect the dots between the lot.
Yeah, great.
And the delivery time frame. So call out here is to go, we're not going to go and market until March, so you won't see new signatures and you won't see new business cards and you won't see you know new emails coming out of Salesforce until March. But what we are going to do is test this in the Northern Rivers. And I think this test is really important for us because it's not just about testing the brand, but it's also, as you know, testing when we line up sales behind it and we line up service behind it and we line up fulfillment behind all of this activity, what happens? Because what we want to be able to do is come March, not only launch the brand, but launch a new way of marketing where we all move through, you know, a product release together. We all move through a vertical together. And, you know, we have a fully integrated campaign. So we're integrating our sales activity and our service activity with our TV activity and our radio activity. So that the test is hugely important.
It is. So the Northern Rivers region covers the Gold Coast market, it covers the Ballina market, and it covers the Coffs Harbour market. So that actually represents about 5% of the business, where we'll be testing this out. And as Carleen said, with the hopeful outcome of a full-blown scale and potentially an always-on type of environment to support our champions, which of course are the small businesses of Australia.
Yeah, because I think the vision for this, and it's a retail approach, particularly down the eastern seaboard. We want to be on, you know, Telstra do this very well. We want to be on TV all of the time, on radio all of the time, and we just flip the messages in and out. And then we go, okay, sales, we're going nuts on hairdressers or, you know, nuts on plumbers this month. And we're all ready for it, we're all going. And then, you know, the business is focused around that outcome. So I'm hugely excited by the future of this.
Yeah. So for everyone in the field, here in the office this week, people have received some little goodies. I know that Jenna from the team has packaged them up. So they will be arriving to you in the field in the next day or so. They're in transit. They may already be with some of you. So some of those things are for you to enjoy and for you to start to embrace the brand. I think there was a really a good discussion about us living out the brand, and that's something we don't have to wait for.
Correct. And I think, you know, for me, come March, we want, you know, because as a marketer, our salespeople are a marketing channel, and you want them to live and breathe the brand when they're a marketer. So we've got this time to get ready around, well, what sales collateral are we going to, you know, give you guys, and you know, what sales conversations are we going to give that, you know, align to that brand personality. So I think, you know, we need all the ideas in the world because we can't just rely on an agency to do that for us. You guys live and talk to the customer, so how do you interpret that? And, you know, March is going to come around really quickly. I mean, but Erin and I sitting down to start work on this in May, and we were like, oh God, October is so far away, and it actually just went really fast. So we don't have a lot of time to get ready. Yeah.
So pretty exciting. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm not sure whether the guys running the tech are able to play the video again. We might try to roll to that and give you another preview of that clip. They're clicking away. So thanks, Carleen, for giving us a sense of that. The regional campaign is going to kick off on November 19, which is a trial in the Northern Rivers. So for those team members involved, which will be an integrated campaign involving sales, service, of course, sales is broken down into face-to-face channels, our telephone sales channels. We'll all be rallying together to make this an incredible experience for our customers. So thanks, Carleen.
Thank you.
And thanks to the guys running the webinar in the background today. We'll try to throw to that video.
For 138 years, we've been famous for connecting businesses with customers.
G-O-G-G-O.
Not happy, Jen!
That's what's made us the champion of Aussie SMEs. And we're still as relevant today as we were yesterday. Maybe even more so. Our customers' success relies on us delivering seamless ways for consumers to find, choose and connect. So it's time to say yellow again.
Yellow.
To Australia's largest business directory with 1.5 million listings.
Yellow.
To 6.5 million searches every month.
Yellow.
To over 800,000 connections a week.
Yellow.
To an average of 115,000 business connections a day. Australia relies on the survival of small businesses, and Australian small businesses rely on us. So it's time to roll up our sleeves and get working.
Yellow.
To stay the #1 search destination, we're updating our offering to support our yellow proposition. Find, choose, connect. We've simplified our structure by creating a yellow universe. And a revolutionary structure needs an evolutionary identity. And where better to start than with our walking fingers. Recognisable, powerful, it embraces our heritage and updates our brand for tomorrow. Welcome to Yellow.
Yellow.
To bring the brand to life, we've created a new campaign to remind Australians how relevant we are today by presenting inarguable and surprising facts about what makes Yellow the #1 business directory in Australia. The more Australians learn about us, the more likely they might say hello, or indeed, yellow.
Yellow.
Here's just a peek of how we're launching to market. Using real businesses with real people highlighting real facts. So we're working harder than ever to connect business with customers.
Yellow. Yellow.
Because our success relies on our capacity to help consumers find, choose and connect with our customers better than anyone else. And when we champion our SMEs and their customers, all Australia wins. Australia, it's time to say yellow.
Yellow. Yellow.
Yellow.
Yellow.